22nd official. Ask Matt anything. AMA. A few people were asking, what is AMA?
AMA.
What's up, unholy degenerity? Thanks for following. AMA is Ask Me Anything or Ask Matt Anything. And you can submit your questions via the chat or via Twitter on the Bird app, twitter.com, okay? You use hashtag Ask Matt AMA. Get your stuff in and get to your questions live on the chat. So, with that said, here's Matt.
All right. Hello, everyone. I'm excited to be doing this again. I had a great time doing it the first time. We had a Matt AMA, which it typically, as my wife said, is Ask Me Anything, but is Ask Matt Anything in this scenario. So I am at home. I leave tomorrow to head to Miami, and I'm very excited about returning to the road and returning to each and every one of you wrestling fans that are out there live and in living color. And we actually get to come to their neck of the woods. So it's very cool. I'm very excited to be in Miami this Wednesday for Dynamite. It seems like it has been an eternity since I've been out traveling and in different cities and different cultures with different food and different people. So it's cool to be doing it. It's cool to be stopping in Miami this Wednesday and starting our touring schedule there. So with that said, I am very excited to sit here and answer some questions. And I think there might be a couple guest stars that pop in on this a little bit later. Maybe we'll have some interaction.
You never know. There's a lot of people in this house.
We
with a
are.
lot of guests.
We have been creating. We've been procreating a lot of guest stars. So I'm sure one will stop in at some juncture. And then my lovely wife, she is going to host this Matt AMA. So if you have any questions.
No, I'm good. Not really a host. Don't put all that pressure on
No,
me.
you are a host.
I'm just a tech. I'm here to keep it moving. I'm here to get you some questions.
And she truly is a host. She's a hoster core. She wears her host on her sleeve, so to say. But no, if you have any questions, go ahead and let's shoot it and hit me some. I am ready. Who's got a question for me?
Right off the bat, we've got a little fuddle here because the original was Ask Matt AMA, and then your last tweet was Matt AMA. So I think we're just gonna stick with Matt AMA as the hashtag. But in any case, hopefully we get enough people in here in the chat. We'll just take it from there.
You're just saying the first time we did this, it said Ask Matt. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I think the way to go going forward will be hashtag Matt AMA from here out.
We got it. All right. Well, we got the first question here, and disclaimer: Matt is sort of a wrestling historian, I hate this word, but wrestling veteran. Okay, wrestling historian. He knows his shit. Me, I do not know anything. So if there's a question that comes through and is somewhat, I don't know, it's offensive or it's obvious or it's some new trending topic that goes right over my head, I apologize in advance. Maybe Matt can
it's a good disclaimer.
Can explain it as we go along, but just to keep that in mind. He is the wrestling historian, and I am simply reading off of a screen.
I want to tell you too, speaking of wrestling historians, you know who the biggest wrestling historian that I've ever met is?
I know who the biggest one I've ever met is.
Who's the biggest one you've ever met?
I would say it's our scribe.
He is a big one, but
Brad Stutz. Shout out Brad Stutz.
I don't think anybody can top Tony Khan.
Tony Khan!
Tony Khan.
Papa Khan!
Yeah, Papa Khan. He's got the competition in the mud. Tony knows his shit, man. TK was telling me the matches that I had that I didn't even remember back in the day. I mean, it's crazy, his recollection.
Like dates and
yes, like from the 80s to 90s and, I mean, he is crazy knowledgeable. I mean, he is such a diehard wrestling fan at heart, and he just retains so much knowledge and he knows stuff in such great detail.
That's what's up. That's what you want. Somebody that actually loves the sport, that's up and current and knows what's up. All right, so we got the first question here. It's the most recent. This is from Wes. Do you like the stonk? I don't know what that means.
I don't even know what the stonk is too.
Maybe we need to get Tony Khan on the stream and let us know what that means.
I am not sure. I sent you two if you check your.
I mean, I can see. I'm just gonna scroll through. We're just going a bit rogue here. Just whatever comes through, that's what it's gonna be.
Look, give me your phone. Turn it this way.
I know how to use Twitter. I know.
No. Give me your phone.
Okay.
See, but now you're playing favoritism.
No, I'm not.
And that's terrible.
I'm just going. Listen, man. These people don't even want to hear me talk. I'm just going to scream. I'm just going to be your question asker. All right?
All right. I'm ready to answer any questions.
All right. With
my last night at home.
This is from Tara. With crowds back and everybody on the run again, will we see, oh God, will we see Broken Matt come back soon in the near future? Or will it be Big Money Matt for the time being?
I don't know. I mean, right now, it's going to be Big Money Matt and the Hardy Family Office. We've put a pretty big investment in that. We have Private Party, which I'm very proud of those guys and the strides they have made. We have Butcher, Blade, and Bunny, who are part of the HFO. And then we also have TH2, who have joined and are new acts. And I think they've been doing really good. I think just being associated with our group and them getting some new opportunities has been very good for them. They're both very talented guys. And coming up this week, either on Dark or Dynamite, we're going to be getting an answer from Jorah, who I offered an opportunity to, who's a very athletic, talented, legit Indian from India. I gave him an opportunity, an offer to join the HFO, and I will help him reach his dreams, his American dream of superstardom in AAW. So I think we're going to find out. I'm hoping to hear his answer. So who knows? He might be part of the HFO, or he might be number one, well, maybe number two behind Christian Cage on the HFO's hit list.
All right, just looking through the chat here. I know we had sort of a mystery when we did our last pinball stream, playing WWF Data East Royal Rumble. If you want to check that out, you can go back and look at prior streams. Matt versus Remy, and he won. What's this?
This looks like Sammy Guevara. He's a big bang addict, more than I am. I usually just drink one in the morning. He drinks them all throughout the day.
Big bang. I'd say, judging by all these kids, a big bang addict too. All right, but we got here. Do you still have the Hardy Show belt I gave you when you and Rebby came to MCW in Alliance, Ohio? Look, man, I think this is kind of a mystery here. We were trying to figure this out. So let's address this.
I'm pretty sure this Hardy Show title is somewhere out in the Dome of Deletion. So, yes, thank you.
All right.
What a kind gift.
We
Sorry, I didn't see your question before.
Mystery. We missed the question about 10 times the last stream, so my bad. All right, this is from Joe. How do you want to be remembered when your career comes to a close? Hopefully, no time soon.
When my career comes to a close, I want Matt Hardy to be remembered as the most passionate professional wrestler in history. No one has that one as of right now. No, I really want to. I feel like I want to be remembered as one half of one of the top tag teams of all time. I feel like myself and Jeff, we really helped break a lot of ground, and we broke a lot of barriers, especially for smaller guys. And I feel like we introduced a lot of new concepts between the ladders and the tables and the chairs, with the help of Edge and Christian and the Dudleys. So I'm very proud of that work that I've done there. And I'm also very proud because when it comes to the Hardy Boys was really my brother to a T. That's like his gimmick. Jeff is the living embodiment of the Hardy Boys. Me, not so much. I'm a very different performer when it comes to that. So when I got the chance to break out and do, Matt Hardy version 1, the Sensei of Mattitude, I was very proud of that work. And I was proud of Big Money Matt and especially Broken Matt when we did that. So I just hope people look back and go, wow, Matt Hardy was really passionate. And he was courageous and fearless, not in the way necessarily of taking bumps and crazy risks like my brother did, but as far as from a creative aspect. I would like to be remembered as that. And one thing that I say, I really do love this. And sometimes it gets frustrating because your body just won't do what you want your body to do when you get a little older and you're beat up or you're more stiff or whatever. But I do have a great passion for it. So I would like to be remembered as the most passionate pro wrestler in history.
All right. I had to stop and check this one out from Robbie in the chat. Thank you, Robbie. Favorite Public Enemy song? Yeah, hit us with a verse.
There's a bunch of Public Enemy songs that I'm a big fan of. Welcome to the Terradome was one of my favorite Public Enemy songs for the very longest time. Bass, how low can you go? Death Row, would a brother know? Once again, back is the incredible Rhyme Animal, the uncannibal D, Public Enemy #1. I mean, I could sit here and go on and on and on That was a huge part of my development when I was younger. And big shout out to Chuck D and Public Enemy. They were very inspirational to me as I was younger. But I have a lot of Public Enemy songs that I really, really dig. Probably my favorite is Welcome to the Daredome.
All right, this is from Phoenix. You spent most of your AEW career in the pandemic era.
All of my AEW career has been in the pandemic.
That's true, yeah, all of it. What are you most looking forward to now that you're touring with crowds again?
To me, I'm very excited to be touring with crowds tonight. But I'm excited to be touring with crowds again because I feel like the barometer is going to be much more fair and accurate. Because I am not a 25-year-old or 30-year-old wrestler who is like a super high work rate, does a ton of high spots throughout the match. I am definitely more of a storyteller. And I feel like being out on the road in front of more casual fans, more, fans that aren't as bloodthirsty for this action and excitement and the super high spot, super high pace, super high octane match, I feel like they will have a great appreciation for someone like me who is pretty decent at storytelling in the ring. So that's what I'm excited for. To be out in front of live crowds, it's going to be such a great barometer of everybody from top to bottom on the roster of like who's actually over. Because during that pandemic era, when we were wrestling in Jacksonville and there wasn't like legitimate fans in there all the time, it was just hard to tell like who's really over. I mean, the feedback you get is online, and still online there is some accuracy to that of what you read in social media or whatever online, but it's only a piece of the whole pie. You don't get the full engagement. You don't get the full reaction of how over an act is. So that, to me, is going to be the most exciting thing about being back in front of crowds. It's going to be like legitimate reactions night in and night out.
From Downtown Brown 3 in the chat, thank you. Was there ever a stipulation match you never got to do that you wish you could have done?
Yeah, there's 2 stipulation matches that I never got the opportunity to do that I would have loved to have done back in the day, and that was just the Elimination Chamber and Hell in a Cell. And I think more or less, not necessarily because I was like a big fan of either one specifically, but just to kind of check it off your bucket list. I mean, I want to do everything. That's why I'm so happy we're having a girl this time around. I've been a boy's dad 3 times over, so I was definitely excited to be a girl dad. So I'm finally getting to do that and check that off my bucket list. Crazy segue into that.
From Joey Rizzo on Twitter, hashtag MattAMA, now that we've figured it out. What's the most painful match you've ever been in?
I mean, it's really hard.
During or after?
To say like the most painful match you've ever been in. Like, I would really say it's probably like the amount of pain that you end up being in during the match. When I first tore my ACL, we were at some house show, some spot show, maybe in Yuma, Arizona, and I was wrestling Kane. And that is when I first fully snapped my ACL, and it was brutal. It burned and it hurt, and just continuing on with the match. And I knew I was like damaging it more. And a little later on, I still braced it up and kind of worked through it 5 or 6 weeks after that, before I had surgery. But that was one of the most painful injuries I ever had, because I think what had happened was my ACL had been torn a little by little by little, but that was the point where like full-fledged, 100% completely tore. And then it was very painful, and I was trying to finish out the match, and it's like the machismo, I guess, in you as far as being a wrestler. That used to be the old school mentality. Back when we first started in the 90s, like if you got hurt and didn't finish the match, then it was like a sign of weakness. But now, in 2021, if you get hurt, it's like a sign of strength if you're able to stop the match and like don't injure yourself any worse. Times are changing, and society has changed so much during the 4 decades that I've been in the pro wrestling business.
Alicia asks on Twitter, what do you do before every match? Do you have any pre-match rituals?
Probably the biggest thing I do that is a pre-match ritual. I like to stretch good before matches now, especially. It's very important. A lot of times I end up not stretching anywhere near as good as I should be stretching. But something that I always do, if my hair is going to be down, especially when I was broken mat or if I was just kind of like regular Matt and my hair was going to be down or what or whatever. I always take my hair tie and I would take it off and I would put it in a pocket on my right side. It would always be my right top pocket or my right knee pocket. There's someone on Twitter that has a Matt Hardy knee pockets account that used to have.
What?
Which was, it just reminded me because I said knee pockets. If you're out there anywhere, the person who had the Matt Hardy knee pockets account, I would love for you to step up and raise your hand.
Shout out.
Show yourself.
Shout out knee pockets. Shout out by Jolene on Twitter and Instagram too, the gear maker for all of the iconic Matt Hardy gear.
So much. Hello, that's my girl. Gear by Jolene.
Yeah. All right. This is from WrestleJoy on Twitter. Do wrestlers in AEW come up to you for advice on their matches?
Yes, wrestlers do come up to me quite a bit, and they'll like say, "Did you get to see that, or did you watch it?" And I try and just be very honest about it. If there's something I did see that I have something I think would help improve their work to a degree, I'll mention it. And if I don't, I don't. And a lot of times I feel like, especially recently, now that I've been doing the HFO gig, I've been very busy. I feel like on the last couple episodes of Dark, I was like out 7 or 8 times throughout the shows when we did like a couple episodes back to back. So I was pretty busy during that, and then also back and shooting pre-tapes or whatever. So yes, I do. If I don't have anything to do, I love to like sit back and just watch and give people feedback. And if maybe there's some small little proponent of information I can give them that will be beneficial to them and help them. But I literally, it's very distracting. Sorry, she's reprimanding one of her childs.
Child out of the shot.
So yes, I do get asked if I do see it and I have something to say. I definitely will. I love helping. I love watching young guys learn and grow. So, with that being said, yes.
Woofy dookie. All right, a wrestling historian on Instagram asks, "How long did it take to film the final deletion?"
Great question.
Which one is that? The final deletion. I feel like I should.
The
know.
final deletion is
the.
The final deletion is the OG. It's myself and Jeff. It's the first one we ever did where we celebrated Maxwell's birthday.
Oh, nice. All right.
We started at 3 p.m. that day, and the very first scene that we shot was the first scene in order of the series. It was the Maxwell's birthday celebration, which it was legitimately around his birthday, and we were getting ready to have his birthday party in the Dome of Deletion. So we shot that, and that was with myself and Maxwell, with Queen Rebecca, and Senior Benjamin. That was shot. The crew left. They went to Jeff's. They shot the first deal with the drones, where the drones invaded his house, and you were introduced to Vanguard 1 for the first time. And then the next scene that we shot was where I had Senior Benjamin preparing the battlefield for massacre by putting gasoline on it. And then we shot, as soon as it became nighttime, we shot the whole final deletion, and that went from like 9:30 or 10 p.m.-ish to 6 a.m. in the morning. And we did everything. We came back and we slept for about 3 hours, and the very last scene that I shot was on the Moab lawns, going across Jeff's lawn where he had all the beautiful designs, and like destroying his artwork. His lawn artwork. That was the last scene that I shot. And like the side of my arm and lat was all burnt from the very end of the final deletion match. But all in total, we did all this in 16 hours of shooting. And that was pretty amazing considering it was such a small crew. There was literally 2 people shooting, and then there was some person like recording all the shots, and then we had someone helping us out with audio. So we did the whole final deletion in 16 hours. It was a hell of a day.
Piggybacking off of that question, here's Shaggy from the chat. How cool is Senior Benjamin?
Senior Benjamin is the coolest. He really is. He's the nicest. He's the coolest. Just like a laid-back, good human being, good person who you hear that expression thrown around so much, but would give you the shirt off his back, and he legitimately would. He would give you the shirt off his back. Just a great dude, and what a great grandpa to the boys. They love him so much, and he's always here to bring them food and help them out and watch them, and he'll allow myself and my wife to get away every once in a while. So he is a big, huge asset and help to our lives.
Huh. Apparently he got a TikTok? Is that true? I feel like out of everyone in this family, he might be no shade. He might be
no
the
way.
least
No. Jeff,
technologically
I
advanced.
am sure Jeff didn't get a TikTok.
Well, I don't know. If anybody knows, did Jeff get a TikTok?
I'm pretty positive he didn't. I would guess that's a fake. There's probably a fake putting his stuff together.
What about you? You gonna have a TikTok anytime soon?
I don't think so. Jeff has an Instagram, and I know his whole mentality of having an Instagram is just like to kind of, if he has any photos or paintings that are cool, he'll put them up. But then, like, after his match airs, he puts up his face paint. That's a big deal to him. That's the main reason he has it. And he has Twitter because I forced it on him when he was when it first came out, and I was doing it, I think. So he just kind of has that just to have it, just because he's had it and it's kind of built up a following. That isn't something he really uses actively at all. So Instagram is his thing, and it's hard for me to believe that he had just started TikTok. I mean, last time I spoke to him, which was yesterday, I hadn't heard anything about it, so I don't think so.
Can you hit us with a TikTok dance? Do you know a TikTok dance?
No, man, I don't dance. Matt doesn't dance.
I don't dance. All right, this is from XNatBiz in the chat. How did you and Undertaker end up booked for a match on WWE Superstars?
Well, apparently the booker, Vince McMahon, wanted to have myself and the Undertaker fight in the main event of one of the first Superstars. I don't know specifically the ins and outs of why that match exactly happened. I would have imagined at that time, after I turned heel and was working with Jeff, I think they wanted to use me and do things with me. I ended up getting hurt again during that time. I had an abdominal tear that was slowly continuing to grow bigger and bigger, and eventually it burst and my intestines came out. It was a whole big issue at the very end of that run. But I think it was just an opportunity to kind of allow me to work with Undertaker, get a rub, have a good match, and it would definitely be a match that would help give me like a rub and star power. So I would imagine that's how that match came to be.
What year was this? What are we talking here?
2009-ish, probably.
Oh wow! All right. Well, this is from Anja on Twitter. What is the best?
But even before you do that, I mean, like I worked with Undertaker a ton in 2002 and 2003, which really helped me out when I was first doing the whole Matt Hardy version 1, the Sensei of Mattitude, and it was almost like Brock was on top and he had the angle against Undertaker, but I was almost like, the whole Matt Hardy version 1 character was a big over-the-top delusional character, as it is anyway. He thought he was the greatest thing ever in the history of pro wrestling, and that was kind of the attraction of him. But I felt like I was on the same level as Brock and Undertaker. And Brock would like use me to do his dirty business, and then I wrestled Undertaker 3 or 4 times, like back to back, week after week on TV, which was cool. And we did one thing where he got counted out of a match, so I obviously made a big to-do about how I beat The Undertaker. And then we had a Falls Count Anywhere match where Brock interfered in the end of it, and I pinned The Undertaker, so I beat him 2 times back to back. And that was like a great Matt fact and just something I could definitely crow about forever. So it was fun, man. He was great, and I learned a lot working with him. It's a very, very good time in my career. Fun time.
All right, from Anja on Twitter. What was the best memory you had with the Dudleys?
Gosh, I mean, I think if you talk about the Dudleys, I mean, you have to talk about, Hardy Boys, Dudleys, Edge, and Christian at WrestleMania 2000 going out and having the triple threat ladder match. And in essence, that was the first tables, ladders, and chairs match, and still in the show. And we walked through Gorilla, and they knew we were planning on doing a bunch of really challenging, risky stuff. And they said, don't worry about time. Time's not an issue. Take as much time as you want. And that's like unheard of, especially in this day and age. It was even unheard of then. And we got to go out there and play our music the way we wanted to play it. And it was cool. It was wild. It's so amazing that we were allowed to combine tables, ladders, and chairs. And each one of the teams kind of had one of these inanimate objects. And then we built this match into like a staple of pro wrestling that is still a pay-per-view in this day and age, is the TLC pay-per-view and the TLC match. So it ended up being a pretty big deal. So it's cool that along with the Dudleys and Edge and Christian that we left our mark in that way by having a term or a match or just a staple of the pro wrestling industry that will live forever to something that we created. So that's probably my coolest memories with the Dudleys.
All right, Wolfie is lamenting over here. He's dying to get on the chat.
All right.
We're gonna get you in a second, buddy. we got Jay Omega 33. He can slap tornadoes. Responding to someone else apparently, but that kind of leads me to a question of my own. People are always asking me, man, what is the opening line in that song? Is it about tomatoes, tornadoes? Tornadoes. We get that every single AMA, every Q&A.
Oh, yeah, I can slam a tornado.
Slam.
Yeah.
Confirmed. Mm-hmm. Slam a tornado, guys. It's not slap a tomato. It's not slap a tornado. Slam a tornado. Bury that. We're done with that.
Oh, it's haunted me forever. 20 years now.
20 years of slapping, whatever it was. I forgot.
I can eat a tomato. I can peel a potato.
All right, here we go. Ask Matt AMA. Hashtag Matt AMA. Will you encourage your children to be professional wrestlers? Wolfie.
This is a good segue.
You want to come answer?
Yeah, come over here, Wolfie. Come on. They're ready for you. Yeah.
He's upset that he was shunned away a minute ago. Come here, baby.
No, we're good. Come here, Wolfie.
You want a what?
Oh. No, you didn't do anything bad. You were great. Okay. Wolfie, you're my favorite. Don't tell Maxwell. I tell him that all the time. You're my favorite. Barty's asleep. Maxwell's in the other room.
You're okay.
So, would I encourage it? I mean, only if they want to. I literally want them to do whatever will make them happy. One of the last times that I was with Wolfie, and he said, he was talking about being a wrestler. He said, when I have my job to make money, I want to be a wrestler. Can I do that, Dad? I said, yeah, you can. I said, and I think unlike me, you would actually have some name value just from the Hardy name. Because you're already like the baby Hardy Boys, right?
Go stand on the other side.
You want to stand here? You want to stand all up? I think you
stand on the other side. He's going to hit this mic and this is all going to fall apart.
It'll be all right here. We'll just sit right here. Perfect. All right. So, Wolfie, I know you're having a hard day, right? Tell me, do you want to be a pro wrestler? Do you think you like going in the wrestling ring, right? Yeah. Do you think you'll be a good wrestler? Who would be a better wrestler, you or Maxwell? You say it loud. Maxwell? I don't think so.
You don't want to be found out, man. You don't want Maxwell to hear that. He's got a challenge on his head.
Who do you think would win between you and Barty? Yeah, give me a high five. High five. Hallelujah. Who do you think would win between you and Maxwell?
Maxwell?
I think you would. I think you're tougher. You know what? Because every time we start rolling around in the wrestling ring, Wolfie, like Maxwell's like, he's kind of like a little nervous to kind of come at Dada. You'll grab my hair and pull it out and grab my arm. You're very aggressive. You're much more aggressive.
Sometimes I do that in the hot tub, Mama. I can go in the hot tub.
Oh my goodness.
Sometimes I put Dada's feet is what agree with in the hot tub sometimes.
Let's tell them about our hot tub. How much you love sitting in the hot tub with me?
This much?
This much, I know. How old did you have to be to go in the hot tub?
4.
4. He was 3 and 11 months and 20 days, but he couldn't go yet. As soon as he turned 4, you told me, you said, Dada, I'm 4. Can we please go in the hot tub now? And that's how old you had to be. So you're 4 and you do great, right? And you love it. Remember that time you and Max were talking about opening a restaurant? You said instead of being a wrestler, you're going to open a restaurant and call it Disgusting Pizza. What were you going to put on Disgusting Pizza?
Everything.
Everything? What would be disgusting on Disgusting Pizza?
I'm going to tell you what disgusting thing is.
Okay.
What's on it?
It's farts, stinky, everything, poo-poo.
Farts, stinky, everything, poo-poo on a pizza?
everything in the whole house and the hot dog and everything and glass and everything.
Oh my God, that's so crazy. And you say glasses on it? You can't put glass on a pizza. That'll cut off someone's throat and mess them up. That's a disgusting pizza, Woofy. How dare you? How dare you? Woofy, what do you think to wrestling fans out there? What would you like to say if you were going to say something to them about your name?
My name is Whoopie Dookie.
Yeah, my name is Whoopie Dookie.
And my name is Wolfgang.
Wolfgang, yeah, that's your official name. And you're one of the Baby Hardy Boys, right? Who's your partner?
Maxwell.
Yeah, Maxwell. So let me ask you this. You and Maxwell, if you guys fought the Young Bucks in 15 years, who would win? Baby Hardy Boys or Young Bucks? Just say Baby Hardy Boys.
He said it goes without saying.
All right, it goes without saying. I get it. All right. Are you going to manage me? Or am I going to manage you when we get a little older? I should manage you? What are you going to do? You going to manage me? Tickle. All right. All right, Wolfie. Is this fun? You want to hang out? Here, we'll have him ask some questions. Give us another question. I'm going to ask. Ask us another question, and I'll answer.
Nigel Uno 1. Are you going to be at Fighter Fest night 1 or 2?
This is a very interesting question, and a lot of this is dependent on my wife, because depending on when this baby comes is going to determine which Fighter Fest I'm at, and that's about as honest of an answer as I can give you.
When is Fighter Fest?
Episode 1 is the 14th of July. Part 2 is on the 21st of July. As we've talked about. I've told you this.
I mean, there's a lot.
She doesn't care. Though.
There's a lot dependent on this baby here. As of today, it could be any minute. So
yeah, I'm hoping the Fighter Fest, I can work one and then get the other one off because we have a baby girl coming along.
Baby girl. A lot of people have asked about the baby girl name. We're not going to stooge it off, but can you give any clues? Any insight on baby girl name?
I mean, it's just like, I mean, not really.
It's a Pokemon name.
I mean, that's
one.
That's kind of like a clue. That's like your guys' wheelhouse.
Yeah.
You guys are the Pokemon people. So I feel like if you keep pushing this, you're gonna have Woofy stooge it off.
Oh no, yeah.
So you
you
might want to stop. You might want to move on from that topic, right, Woofy?
Right. It's
Yep.
a secret. It's a big secret.
Yep. It's a big secret, but the boys are ready for her, no doubt.
Somebody said Charizard. Charzoid. No, Charizard is not our baby's name.
It's Snorlax.
I think Snorlax is the only Pokemon that Dada knows. Right?
Yeah, they do.
What's your favorite Pokemon, Wolfie?
Oh no.
All of them? That's a good answer.
Pikachu? Pikachu's the most famous, right?
All the
All them.
All right.
all the Pokemon. They're my favorite Pokemon.
What's your favorite TV show, Woofy? Peppa Pig. And who do you like better, Peppa or George?
George.
Because he's the little brother, right? Mm-hmm. You know what it's all about. You probably get along with my little brother, Tio. Did you like going to Jeff's house last night? Did you like going and seeing your cousins last night at the fireworks because you jumped on the trampoline?
Yeah, but I'm scared of the firework part.
Oh, the fireworks are good. They're just loud. But you like jumping on a trampoline. Do you want to get a trampoline? Do you know that's how I learned how to do flips on a trampoline? Do you want to learn how to do flips on a trampoline?
Mm-hmm. I'm doing how to go on a trampoline, super ollie in a ladder.
That's right.
Then I can do a super duper berries. Wow.
That gave us a heart attack.
A super duper.
Yeah.
And you went off the 4th rung
And
from level, very high.
I wonder if you can even see this. Look at this child on a ladder here. You can't even. Look at this.
let me see. I want to see.
This is Wolfie on a ladder.
Let me see.
Onto a trampoline.
Let me see. Let me see.
You've seen it. I'll show you again, though. You're so brave.
There it is. What you got? You got any more questions over there in the chat? I bet there's one rolling through.
Magic Car Party. Sylveon. We ain't saying it. All right, Matt, what is your favorite pinball machine ever made? From Saul in the chat.
I mean, I have to say my favorite pinball machine ever made is the Expedition of Gold. And obviously I'm going to be a little biased because it is about me and my career, but that's definitely my favorite pinball machine, and I enjoy playing it more than anything else.
Oh, check it out, hardypinball.com.
Yeah.
Get a whole breakdown of the build there, and more wrestling titles to come very soon, I think, I would say. Maybe. Who knows?
Bunch of you guys in the chat, are you guys booked to go to AEW events coming up in the future? You guys excited about Rampage starting?
Somebody asked about Chicago. There's a bunch of events in Chicago?
Yeah. In Chicago, there's going to be a live Dynamite, and then Thursday there'll be like FanFest stuff. Friday there's going to be a live Rampage. Saturday is full-fledged FanFest, and then Sunday the pay-per-view. So it's going to be a big week in Chicago for All Out.
This month too?
No.
Oh, God. Everything is happening this month.
That's in September.
All right, good. All right, we got Matt AMA, hashtag from B. Danny, maybe?
Okay.
Which Matt Hardy persona do you like to emulate the most?
The funnest Matt Hardy persona to do is Broken Matt, beyond a shadow of a doubt. I feel, so that's definitely something I enjoy. But I mean, I enjoy doing all of them, and in some ways, I can make each persona a little bit, a little bit of me. I can make it an extension of the real Matt Hardy, like let a little bit of my real feelings and emotion kind of come into play in whatever I'm doing. Even with Broken Matt, as absurd as it was too, like it was real fun to try and like convince yourself that you are this different supernatural person and you can do this stuff and buy into it. See, and that was the host that did that.
Oh no! My bad. Tech is
Did you see
fired.
that?
Tech is
See that mama dropped the camera. You think mama's gonna be in trouble?
Yeah, try and get me in trouble. Shoot. Okay, we got a whole bunch of people here in the chat. So one coming to Charlotte, Bone Dead Cold Sam, shout
touch
out.
that.
Someone asking, are you coming to Baltimore soon?
Oh, am I?
I guess. I don't know. We got someone coming to Milwaukee.
Yeah, we do have that. I've actually talked to Dan McDevitt about doing an MCW appearance at some point in Baltimore. So hoping that works out. I've got some independent dates booked too, and like some signings and stuff in New York and Connecticut, Philadelphia. I'm doing a deal there at ECW Arena.
Speaking of ECW, we got a question here from XNAP Biz again. Did you enjoy your run as ECW World Champion? Any thoughts about that period where you and Jeff were on top?
That was, yeah, I loved my run as being an ECW champion, even though it was the ECW WWE. It was so much fun. And it was cool to have that opportunity to kind of be the centerpiece of the show and have like a storyline that you could really sink your teeth into. And I feel like being one of the top level guys on that ECW brand, it gave me the opportunity to like be more creative with my angles and the way I was doing things and even more promos. So for me, it was a great learning and growing experience, and I really enjoyed it. And I dug and cherished the time I had there, and it was a lot of fun. And I thought it was so cool that myself and Jeff, I was the ECW champion and he was the WWE champion. And just for both Hardy Boys, who, were this great tag team, to be singles champions at one time, I just thought that was a very cool touch. So yeah, that was a really fun time in my career.
All right, You're a Jerk says, I hope Matt makes time for golf or fishing. Either of those things. I think the latter here we're trying to get into with the boys, yeah?
Yeah, I think the boys enjoy fishing, so I'm cool with that. I used to fish a lot when I was young. I played golf a few times. And she'll never admit it, but I'm pretty sure my wife actually enjoys fishing.
What? What do you mean I'll never admit it?
Because it's like, you think it's kind of like a southern...
it's like some yeehaw ass stuff.
Well,
Yeah,
because of that. It's some yeehaw. It's some yeehaw ass stuff.
I mean, I like fishing.
But I mean, like
He was actually just clowning on me the other day because I was very excited, trying to share in my excitement of my fishing license coming in the mail, and you were like clowning on it, like you're what?
I just
You went and signed up to the government for a fishing.
I was very surprised that you jumped in with both feet and got a legit fishing license. So that was that was intriguing to me. But I do know whenever you sit there, and especially being a mom of 3 insane children, about to have a 4th on the way, which is going to be a little Rebby, which, oh my God, you guys can make each other crazy, I think. And then just to have time away and throw in, your fishing pole and actually sit there and watch your bobber, wait for it to be pulled under. It's just like there's a relaxation to it. And it's weird because you never want to like stop and slow down. You're very New York minute, as I've always said before in the past. You got to go, 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 go. I really feel like you enjoy that slow down and relax period of fishing.
It's like yeehaw gambling. It's very addictive. Oh my gosh. All right, this is from Paige on Twitter, Matt AMA, hashtag. How does it feel to inspire? Okay, Wolfie Doogie. It's time to get down.
You ready? Here you go.
Tell the people goodbye.
All right, tell everybody bye. Look at the camera. Say bye.
Bye.
Say bye, people.
Bye, people.
All right. Good job, woman.
All right, we just got a few questions, I think.
Now I can make it.
Yeah, you can, but you gotta get out of here. You gotta get out of here.
I'm going to bring you a surprise when I come home from work.
Yeah.
All right?
How does it feel to inspire so many young people worldwide, like myself? Thank you, Paige.
Thanks, Paige. That's amazing. If you have somehow found myself or my brother's inspiration, I think it's real cool, especially because we were just 2 young kids with dreams who found professional wrestling and found love with it. And it seemed like these people were like athletes who were also living, breathing superheroes. And we just literally chased our dream, and we tried to find a way in without having any connections, no family in the business, having, no insight to how to do this. And it worked, and we really took the long route, but it ended up working and we achieved our dreams. And I feel like when Jeff and I bust on the scene, especially after we switched over to our kickwear pants and we were wearing the tighter shirts and we were the Hardy Boys, I feel like we were very relatable to people who, in some ways in their life maybe had felt like outcast or not accepted, especially just different time now. It's a lot more inclusive society in general, but at that time, I feel like there were a lot of people who looked at the Hardy Boys like, oh my God, these are guys that didn't necessarily fit here, but they have found a way to make themselves fit, and they just kind of do their own thing. So I felt like people could relate to us, and in some ways we were inspiring because we were just people that you wouldn't typically see in WWE, or we wrestled a style that wasn't typical of WWE, and we just did our own thing. We were us. So that is very cool if you were inspired by us, and thank you. That makes me happy. Thank you for sharing. And I feel very blessed. I'm very privileged to be in this role that I am and to have the life that I lead, and to have been wrestling this long and been on television this long and been able to touch so many people, however it may have been, whether it was inspirational or someone that, may have said like, oh my God, I think I have an opportunity to make it too. If they can make it, then I can make it. So thank you guys.
All right, this is from Tishan LeChlong on Twitter, I think. I'm trying not to say Schlong, to be honest. What Jeff persona do you love most?
I mean, I think Jeff is, obviously going to, be best known for the charismatic enigma, Jeff Hardy, which is great. And he's amazing at it because it is really him. He just doesn't care. I'm very I pay attention to details. I'm very aware of my surroundings. Typically, if I mean to be, Jeff just isn't. He just kind of does his own thing, and he really marches to the beat of his own drum. But something I think that Jeff did that is very underrated was the Antichrist of pro wrestling. When he was a heel, at that point when he first turned heel and he did that, he was really committed and he was really good at doing it. And I thought he did an amazing job with it. And I would have liked to have seen him personally be at a better place in his life and do the Antichrist of professional wrestling. I think he would kill it.
Alright, this is from Felipe Pacheco, I think. What is the funniest thing you ever heard a fan shout during a match? Felipe in the chat, thank you.
Oh my gosh. The funniest thing I have ever heard a fan chant during a match. I mean, besides the usual fun negatives of, you suck or you're fat,
Fat Hardy!
Fat Hardy. One of the most fun chants that I got was at Ring of Honor when I first did Big Money Matt. And I had a match where I did a side effect, and I remember people started chanting, same old shit, same old shit. So my reaction was like, okay, if that's what you think, I'll do it again. And I did like 3 or 4 more, and they got that chant. And then eventually we did a little up and down with whoever I was wrestling against. And then the finish was a twist of fate, and that was the finish of the match. But after the finish of the match and the pinfall, once again, the chant started up, same old shit, same old shit, same old shit. And I remember being in the back and I remember Jay Lethal said oh, that's like your finish. I mean, what else are you supposed to do? Are you just supposed to do something that they don't know, that isn't established, and they don't understand why you're doing it? So that's funny. That was one. It was just like people at that time, I was just getting my shit together, and people wanted to hate me for whatever reason. So I was fine with that and totally cool playing into it. And I think same old shit was just because he's just doing the same old moves that he's always been doing. I guess you hit me with that in 2021, when we were in Miami or, one of the Texas shows, hit me with the same old shit. I'll be happy to react to it, and I'll keep doing the same old shit over and over. It is what it is. I mean, once it's your moves and it's kind of known, the people that are casual fans are kind of waiting to see those moves, I think it's okay. You don't have to always hit the same old shit chant.
It's from Max Nadigan. Thanks for all these great questions, man. Do you feel a cinematic match between yourself and Sting is possible someday?
I personally think that would be fun. When Sting first came to AEW, and it was cool to see him. I worked with him a little bit in TNA, and I saw him at WWE when he was there too. But he went back and watched the Stadium Stampede, and he just said, oh my God, it was just so cool, so creative. I loved how you did it. And he put it over huge. And he said, I'm excited to do some of these things. And I was like, yeah, man, that's cool. And I think too, he was a big fan of the deal, in the water and out is the different characters. When it was the water from the Lake of Reincarnation in the pool at the Jacksonville Jaguar Stadium. So he thought that was a real fun spot. And I love the fact that people do enjoy that for the entertainment aspect of it, and I think it's cool. And then there's diehard people obviously going to go, no, wrestling is wrestling. It's the good guy versus the bad guy, and if you do any of this hokey horse shit, it's no good. I don't know. I mean, I get it. You are allowed your opinion. If you don't want to see any supernatural stuff or any magic, that's fine. And I can't hate on you for that because that is your opinion. But I mean, also, I feel like you need to acknowledge that there are people that do enjoy that, and which one is the majority? I don't know. When it comes to online and the internet, I can definitely tell you the majority is the more serious wrestling competitor, but just wrestling is not a legitimate sport. I mean, since kayfabe has legitimately been broken, and you can go online and you can read all the ins and outs about it. And even Jim Cornette, who hates all that stuff too. I mean, he goes on his show and his podcast and he breaks down matches and explains how everything works. I mean, everybody knows the ins and outs of the business. So it's not like, I understand you want to suspend disbelief. And I think even, if you're shooting someone to the ropes, I mean, it's also a tricky thing to believe as far as the whole magic and supernatural stuff, because it's not something that would legitimately happen. So I think people need to remember wrestling is entertainment, and people like different kinds of entertainment, and enjoy what you enjoy. And if you don't like it, it's not for you, that's fine. You are allowed your opinion, and I wouldn't hate on anyone for having their opinion. But in my opinion, I think dipping in a little bit of entertainment, supernatural stuff, some magic, I think it is beneficial to wrestling in the long run.
From Johnny Darker in the chat. Would you rather wrestle a bear or a very tall man who has tiny arms?
Do you mean, would I rather wrestle a bear or John Silver? I don't know. He's just his arms are big. They're just short though.
It's like a little T-Rex, right?
Yeah. They're very short.
I don't know, man. I don't know if we're gonna get to that one. How's DDP yoga treating you?
DDP yoga has definitely been beneficial, and once again, it's just me trying to stay committed to doing it each and every time. Sometimes it's hard. Like if Barty's down there and he's up early with me, it's like hard to get in there. He'll like break my yoga routine. I feel like probably the thing I need to do more than anything else is be super disciplined and try and get to bed early so I can get up early and make sure I'm up. And the early bird gets the worm. And I can make sure to do it, because if I'm down there and I'm trying to do DB yoga and Barty's going to be jumping on top of me and he's going to be blocking me and he's going to be shutting down my downward dog. But it has been good, and I enjoy doing it. And I've also like incorporated a lot of the DDP yoga into just my stretches before matches, and it's helped me out a lot.
All right, from Shannon Dog in the chat. Thank you. Do you prefer TLC or cage matches?
I would say I prefer TLC matches, just the tables, ladders, and chairs. I feel like it gives you more tools to play with, and also going outside the ring allows you more creativity, and you can think outside of a broader box. With a cage match, you can do cool things as well, but you're kind of inside the cage, and that kind of limits your movements and your motions. I mean, they're both cool, and I dig both as gimmick matches, but I would say of the two, I would prefer a TLC match to a cage match.
All right, from Breeze and Dilly Girl in the chat. Are you going on the Jericho cruise?
Yeah, I will be on the Jericho cruise just because there's going to be a live Dynamite from there.
This is the first I'm hearing of this.
Well, I mean, I don't even know the official dates it is, but I mean they do it every year. So the Jericho cruise, they'll apparently tape a couple days of international content and YouTube content, and then there's like a live Dynamite on it.
That sounds. I'm gonna keep it to myself. So from Twitter. #MattAMA. Do you remember the RF video shoot interview that you did? It was crazy because it ends with you eating the host and pouring gasoline. Is that true?
Mm-hmm.
Is this the thing?
Yes.
Or you
Yeah.
tell me about that. I never heard of that.
I mean, you watched the video.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't remember you eating anyone or
I mean, I just bit him as
participating
Broken Matt
in flammables.
would bite him. It was once again a deal where I did like 90 minutes, full-fledged Broken Matt, and at the very end he got confrontational and said he was out of there, and I ended up biting him, and I feel like there was some sort of are you sure it was gas? I feel like I did dump something on him. Maybe it was gas. I'm sure I would have.
Could have been Senior Benjamin's delete.
And I also did that with Dave LaGreca too. I dumped. Didn't I I ate him in the Dome of Deletion.
We tied him up.
We tied him up.
There, yeah.
We tied him up. I ate Dave LaGreca.
Dave LaGreca of Busted Open. Shout out. We love you guys. Oh boy. All right. This is from Relic in the chat. Outside of Jeff, who is your favorite person you've teamed up with? Favorite tag team partner?
Outside of Jeff, I would say it was Bray Wyatt, and that was probably too because I just enjoyed the characters who were doing so much. It was so much fun. MVP was also fun. I had great fun whenever we had our run too. We were like legitimately very competitive against one another, even though that was our story on TV. We were like in every aspect of life as we were like, hanging out or traveling or whatever. So it was a lot of fun.
Guys, I think we're going to look through the chat real quick, see if we've got anything from Matt. Got a new guest here. Oh, look.
Nope.
There it is, the Hardy Compound, Dome of Deletion.
What is that?
It's the house. We got the house here.
Oh, okay.
This was actually
I
queued
got
up
you.
for, if we had a good stream this time. We've had some problems in the past, but if this is if you're a repeat on this channel, we've had some issues because we live in the middle of nowhere. People weren't getting it, so this is the Hardy Compound here, in the middle of miles and miles of forest. So when there are lags,
And
this is why. This is the Hardy compound here?
Well, I mean,
Speaking of La Greca and tying people up in the building.
yeah, we never had any internet service. There is no wired internet that runs out here. It won't come out this far. And then the only thing we could get satellite internet wise was HughesNet, and it was very weak. Like, we couldn't stream videos on any of the platforms. We couldn't download or upload. It was brutal. Like, I mean, it was really like we're living in, in the Stone Age. It was it was so crazy. People were blown away by it. And there's like Jeff and I at one point we talked about trying to buy an internet tower and building it out here. Like, whatever, I don't know, what does it cost? $500,000 to build an internet tower? I don't know. We were gonna do whatever just to try and get internet and like some high speed Wi-Fi. So Starlinks is what we end up getting, and now we are near the signal, right?
Yeah,
we're
right next to the signal.
So this should be like best case scenario as far as our streaming goes.
We've been trying every room in the house, every stream. We'll try a different room and see where the best signal for streaming is. All right, Shadow King in the chat says, who's your favorite wrestler as of this year? Who's the wrestler of the year?
Who do I think is going to be wrestler of the year this year?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying PWI or anything, but I think they just mean you personally. Who do you think it is?
Yeah, no, of course. I mean, the first person I'd say in AEW, I would say it's Kenny Omega. I think he's done great. There's a bunch of guys that have really elevated themselves, with the help of the company and other people as well. A lot of young guys, which they're doing a great process of building guys like MJF and Jungle Boy. Even Orange Cassidy was a great story, and it's going to be so interesting to see how Orange Cassidy, the reactions he gets now that we're back in front of like legitimate crowds and real fans and like a true barometer of what's over and what's not over or whatever. As I said, in AEW, I would probably say Kenny Omega. I would say on the Raw show, it would probably be Drew McIntyre, and on SmackDown, it would be Roman Reigns. That would be my answers to the guys who were the best wrestlers of the year in their respective promotions.
All right, I think this is our last one here. And this is a throwback to the Broken Mat era from Alejandro in the chat. How much did Smoking Joe, the Kangaroo's kicks, hurt?
Smoking Joe's kicks, sometimes he would catch you. I mean, he didn't mind working stiff at all. Sometimes if we were ready for it, it was always mega intimidating, super intimidating, because it's, once again, like working with a wild animal, and there's no guarantee they're not going to like go crazy on you. So, if we could anticipate and see his kick coming, we could kind of absorb it a little bit. But there were definitely times where he like kicked the shit out of myself and Jeff. And there was one time where he like scratched at my back and clawed it up real bad, so I was bleeding. But with Smoking Joe, it was definitely a scenario that would always have your adrenaline pumping, because you never knew what you're going to get. I mean, literally, once you're like fighting with a wild animal, like all bets are off the table. It was pretty scary. I mean, it was one of those things that you would do that would make you feel alive. Crazy times.
Oh my God! Shout out Smoking Joe! Wow. All right, guys. I think this is about it. Unless you have anything you'd like to add.
No, I mean, once again, I want to thank everyone out there that has been following myself and the rest of House Hardy, my family, with this House Hardy Twitch stream. I think it's cool that I know Woofy and Maxwell, they definitely are digging video games. They love playing those. And I know my wife, she did a little makeup tutorial or a little makeup meet and greet, a little chat,
Yeah,
just talk to the people.
We were just talking shit, man.
Yeah, whatever, just talking shit. That's what she does better than anything else. And then I kind of get on here and interact with wrestling fans or, my people, whatever it may be, people that support me, which is so cool. But thank you guys just for checking out the channel and supporting it. And I'm excited to watch it grow and just do different things. Any feedback you guys have to stuff or things you would like to see, I would love to see it as well. And I think this is a cool deal because the whole family can kind of be interactive in it. So thank you guys, and much love.
All right, thank you guys. Make sure you hit that follow button. Tell your friends. Stay tuned for future live streams, chats, AMAs, live gameplay, talking shit while putting makeup on, all of that. Thank you everybody for all of your questions on Twitter, even Instagram, and of course in the chat. We appreciate it so much, and we'll see you in the next stream. Bye!